Yo, what's good, Griffin13 here back in the day, and today guys I want to go ahead and talk about the June update, which is going to be released in Forza Motorsport 7 starting tomorrow, June 5th, and I am absolutely excited for this, guys. This is going to be one of the biggest updates that Forza Motorsport 7 has released so far, because honestly, it is going to make the game the way that it should have been from the start. I mean, seriously, Forza, why did it take you guys so long to go ahead and get this thing going? I love you guys, and I really am excited to see what you guys are doing, but why wasn't this all in here from the start? Like, seriously, this is some of the things that I've been asking for a very long time, and we're finally getting it, which is why I am so damn excited. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into it. So to start things off, yes, we are getting a brand new free car in June that is going to be free for all players, and yes, it is a Ford, and yes, it is a Mustang. However, though, it is not the Mustang that we were thinking we were going to be getting. Instead, this time around, we are getting the 1982 Ford No. 6 Zaxby's Roush Mustang IMSA GT. And honestly, guys, I'm not necessarily too keen on the styling, but of course, just bring on more race cars. Forza, seriously, give us more race cars. That is what this game is made for. Will I probably use this car a whole lot? Probably not. I'm not necessarily a big fan of it myself, but I'm sure that there could be many of you guys that are. And honestly, what is really interesting about this car is that originally they actually started out with a 1.4 liter engine. A 1.4! I think that's how big the engine was in my little 98 Civic. I mean, holy crap, and then eventually they did upgrade to a whopping 2.1 liters that was able to push out 530 horsepower. 530 horsepower out of a 2.1 liter engine. Oh my god, that's more than 250 horsepower a liter. A liter, guys, that is crazy. My new vehicle that I just bought does not get that much horsepower per liter. I can tell you that right now. It gets a good amount of power, but it doesn't get that much. Holy crap, guys, that is a lot. Now, like I said, not necessarily too keen on the styling myself. Will I use it? I'll probably use it a couple times. Will I use it like religiously like some people? Probably not. It's probably going to race it like 2 or 3 times and then it's going to sit in my garage. So, I mean, it's cool and all, but I mean, it's going to be a garage queen for the most part. So, but speaking of free cars though, do you guys have the season pass for Forza Motorsport 7? Because if you do, you guys are going to be extremely excited because not only do you get the Zaxby's Roush IMSA GT Mustang, but as well, you're going to be getting a brand new car pack absolutely free. And for those of you guys who don't have the car pass, you guys will also be able to go ahead and purchase this. Now, this is a car pack, though, that really should have been in the game from the start, and season pass holders probably should have had access to it, or it should have been a pre-order bonus, or something along those lines. And that is, of course, the Hoonigan car pack, starring famous cars like the Hoonicorn. Yeah, we really want to get that thing back in here, guys. We really, really do. As well, there is the Twerk Stallion. There is also the Rawwell Berget. I'm pronouncing that. I'm butchering it so bad. 911 Turbo. There is also the Ford Escort RS 1500, the Napalm Nova, the Bel Air Tri-5 by Fire, and then as well there is another car that is different from our Forza Horizon 3 Hoonigan car pack, which is the 2003 Hoonigan Holden Commodore Ute. So if you guys do have the season pass, you're actually going to be getting all these cars for free, and if you don't, you can go ahead and purchase this car pass if you guys want to. Now, I actually have had this car pack for a very long time because I pre-ordered digitally from a GameStop, and you guys probably already know all about my whole GameStop story there. But the thing is, though, is I ended up getting the Hoonigan car pack for free at the start of the game, and I don't think I've touched the car since. I really, really haven't. So, it's going to be interesting to see what other people are going to be thinking of the Hoonigan car pack. Are most of the cars just going to sit in your garage? Let me know down in the comments section. Then, guys, the big update happens. I am so excited for this. I've been asking for this since Forza Motorsport 7 came out. I really, truly am excited for this, and that is brand new Forzathon updates. Weekly Forzathons, guys. Oh my god, you have no idea how excited I am for this. I've been wanting weekly Forzathons in Motorsport 7 for a very long time, and we're finally getting it. I am so excited, guys. Really, truly am. This is going to be amazing. There are also going to be some weird changes going on with it, though, as Forzathons are no longer tied to achievements. Like, you know how before, like, you know, there was actually a little achievement that would pop up and saying, like, hey, you got this, you did this, you got a card. Woo, yay! Well, actually, what it's going to be now is it's actually going to be managed all by Forza. It's going to be managed entirely by Turn 10 in an internal system. So I'm wondering though if this is actually going to make it more reliable or if it's going to make it worse. I'm not entirely sure how I feel yet because, as you guys know, we've had several issues with Forzathons in the past, and that is my big, kind of worry, is that this is either going to make it worse or it's going to make it significantly better. And I really hope it is the latter. I want it to be significantly better because why not? Forza really needs this, guys. They really do. Weekly Forzathons is something that I have really been wanting to have happen, and it's finally here, guys. I'm so excited. And as well, what's going to be interesting about it is they're going to be tiering them. So there's going to be a 1-step tier, a 2-step tier, and a 3-step tier. And essentially, every single time that you want to go ahead and complete a Forzathon challenge, you know, you got the 1-step tier where you're only going to have to do 1 event, all the way down to the 3-step tier where you do 3 events to get your prize, and the prizes hopefully will actually end up sort of matching the difficulty that you have to do. And as well, Forza is also saying that we're going to be seeing some interesting different challenges that are going to be happening that they couldn't do before with the Xbox achievement system. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with that, and I really do hope that this is much better than it has been in the past. So next up what we have though is there is going to be a bunch of new improvements to multiplayer in Forza Motorsport 7, which honestly from this point on, I always thought that it was lacking. I really did. I thought that Forza Motorsport 7 multiplayer was lacking to the point where I basically didn't play multiplayer in Motorsport 7 unless it was in leagues, and I only really did that for free cars. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this goes from now on, because there's a whole lot of stuff that is now possible that wasn't before. For example, multi-class races are coming back to Forza Motorsport 7. Again, this is something that I wasn't necessarily a big fan of back when it was introduced, but who knows, maybe they've improved on the system since I last played, because I haven't done a multi-class race since, I think, Forza Motorsport 4. Because I own 5, but I only own it because I got it for free, and I barely played it. And I only played 6 on a free weekend for a couple of hours, so I'm not really sure how it's progressed since then, but it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Again, I wasn't necessarily a big fan, but maybe you are, and maybe you're super stoked about this. On top of this, though, as well, you are going to be able to tune your cars in multiplayer. So if you guys know, maybe you're sitting around in a multiplayer waiting screen for a long time, and what was introduced in May is you can now test drive your car while waiting on that multiplayer screen. Well, on top of this, now what you can do is you'll actually be able to test drive your car and live tune it. Now, you won't be driving along, but you'll be able to actually go ahead, pause your game, and tune your car to make it perfect for the next race. And honestly, this is actually a great idea. I really do like this idea because it's really not interfering with the game whatsoever. However, though, there is something else that I do find kind of odd that they are adding in, which is going to be the ability to change your assist in the middle of a multiplayer race. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, because as you guys know, in order to change your assist, you gotta go ahead, press the start menu, and just start going through there, and you gotta go through the menus and change your assist and stuff like that. But the thing is, the race doesn't stop. It keeps going in a multiplayer race. So, are they going to make it so that there's a quick button now that you're going to be able to press to change your assist? Maybe that'll help it a little bit. But honestly, I feel like you should be able to change your assist before the start of a race and just sort of live with it, because if you turned your assist off before, you could probably race with them off this time. Although I do realize that some tracks and some cars may require you to turn traction control on or off. I mean, that's really all it is. Then finally, the last multiplayer update. If you are hosting a lobby in Motorsport 7, you are going to have a little bit more control on what happens in that lobby, as now you're actually going to be able to go ahead and set whether or not the upgrades have to be stock or any, whether or not the tunes can be stock or any, and whether or not the ownership can be owned, rented, or any, and you can make it so that each player has to follow those rules. Now, I'm not entirely sure. I thought this was already a thing that could have been enforced. Maybe that's just because I play a lot more Forza Horizon 3, which that is a thing that you can go ahead and do. So I'm kind of surprised that this wasn't a feature to begin with. I really am. I haven't hosted a whole lot of Motorsport 7 races, so I'm not entirely sure how much of an impact this is going to have but it feels like, you know, they're giving a little bit more control to the player, which I'm really glad to go ahead and see. So next what we have though is we have a brand new feature coming to the game, which is going to be particularly important for those of you guys who like to build your own setups. So you have a C, and you have your clutch, and you have your accelerator, and you have your transmission, and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, some people even build these enough to where, you know, it feels like they're actually sitting in a real car. Well, the immersion is about to get a little bit better, because Forza has now introduced a new feature, which is called Data Out, where they're going to utilize a UDP stream, which can now import all the information that you could ever want from Forza Motorsport 7 into whatever sort of device you want to go ahead and collect. And you can now have motion sleds, custom dashboards, you can log the data from your races and all that sort of stuff. And it is going to be amazing to see what the future of Forza is going to bring with this, because I want to see some really amazing custom racing setups, guys. I really, really do. And in fact, you know, I'm sitting here thinking about this. Some people are going to have these setups that cost so much money that in actuality they could have went out and bought the real car. I can just see this happening now. I really, really can. So finally what we have is we have some new updates to the photography sessions in Forza Motorsport 7, where they're going to be essentially splitting it out into two different modes. You're going to have the traditional tracking mode, which is pretty much everything that it is now, and then you're going to have the new panning mode. And I don't really understand sort of what goes on with this, but essentially what Forza is saying is they're saying that the new panning mode is going to be more like you're standing, taking a still shot, versus the tracking mode where it's more like you're actually moving at the same speed as the vehicle. And they say it's really not going to be too much of a difference in notice, but you are going to be getting more deeper blurs, and it is going to give players a little bit more control on the different kinds of photos that they take. Will I be using this new update? Probably, because as some of you may know, all of the thumbnails that you see on my channel for the most part are pictures that I've taken in Forza Motorsport 7 using the photography mode. So it is something that I do use rather frequently. In fact, I've actually won a couple of different photography contests in the game where, you know, if you actually win one of these, you get like 500,000 credits and a choice of a car that has not yet been released in the game. Or, well, technically they've been released, but they're very difficult to get. So the car that I actually got to choose was the W Motors Lycan Hypersport. Not very many of those in the game at all, and I got 500,000 credits on top of that, so that was a pretty damn cool prize. And it's definitely something that if you're into photography, go ahead and take a look into this. You can find all the information over on the Forza forums. And as well, if you guys want to know more about this, because I'm probably explaining it pretty poorly, everything that I've gone ahead and mentioned in this video is going to be down in the description below. So anyway though, that is where we're going to go and wrap it up for today. Leave a comment down below and let me know which update you guys are most excited about out of the whole June update, as I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say. As well, if you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Griffin13 and Instagram.com/Griffin13. And if you guys like this video, go ahead and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.